Hey guys, I'm Shazabe.
I'm Adil Luka.
And welcome to HATEA Hotel Podcast. Guys, so hari ni kita tak ada Hafiz dan kita juga tak ada Hani Syahani. Tapi kita ada dua tetamu yang sangat istimewa. Bukan sahaja cantik tapi juga wanita-wanita yang bijak belaka. Dan hari ni kita akan di-educate oleh mereka tentang cancer cervix. Are you familiar with cancer cervix?
Not really, so I think that's why it's very important to have them on the show.
Yeah,
Kan?
to be honest, me too. So, kita perkenalkan Dr Ashley Zulkapeli.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
Yes,
I want it to be precise. And then we also have Dr Adrina Kamaruddin. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to HATEA Hotel.
Thanks for coming and joining us.
Yes, thank you so much for sudi lah ya, sudi.
Yeah.
Sudi
Most welcome.
berkongsi ilmu dengan
Thanks for
kita.
inviting.
So mungkin Dr Ashley boleh tell audience like your background sikit, and after that Dr Adrina can also continue.
Boleh? So I'm Dr Ashley. I'm actually a family medicine specialist.
Okay.
So I studied in Tasmania for 5 years and then I've been working in Australia for the last 10 years.
Oh wow.
So last year baru I balik Malaysia and then I decided to do a noble thing, which is join an NGO.
Very noble.
Yeah, so I'm from National Cancer Society Malaysia. It's a very well established. In fact, it's the first and oldest cancer NGO in Malaysia.
Okay.
I think we were founded in 1966. So we have 3 main pillars. Satu, educate.
Okay.
Of course, to raise awareness tentang cancer. And then kedua, care. So we are very big on health screening, cancer screening. And then thirdly, support. Support for cancer patient as well as their caregivers. So yes, I'm from
interesting.
NCSM.
Okay.
Oh wow. And my Dewi sisters here, Dr Adrina sayang. Let's go.
So Dr. Adrina, a house officer in Hospital Kuala Lumpur, and I aspire to be like Dr. Ashley here.
InsyaAllah.
Someone who works in the NGO and promoting especially women's health lah.
Oh wow, so we have 2 different generation. I love this. So macam kita ada 2 perspektif yang berbeza. So cancer cervix, to be honest doc, I'm not aware of it. And I'm a woman. Seorang perempuan yang tidak tahu sangat tentang cancer cervix ni apa. So apa sebenarnya cancer cervix ni doc?
Okay, doktor?
Boleh je nak pas-pas
Doktor
baca.
jawab.
Okay. So, siapa tahu cervix tu kat mana? Okay. Nak cakap malu.
See, malu. We shouldn't feel malu to talk about women's health, women reproductive system.
Should be normalised, kan?
It should be normalised because it's not a taboo. It should be talked about. Okay, so cervix.
Mana cervix tu?
Lukis boleh.
Ni memang doktor
Ada pen tak?
You know the vagina, right?
Yes.
So once you enter the vagina, dekat atas tu, that's where you found the cervix lah. And then you have the cervix and then you have the uterus.
So kita juga panggil dia cancer pangkar rahim.
Pangkar
So
rahim.
maksudnya dia
Okay.
dekat pintu rahim tu.
It's very new to me. I'm not familiar with
You
it.
should please educate yourself.
Yes.
Men need to know tu.
Okay.
Betul tak?
Betul, exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
kita ada cancer faraj, kita ada cancer cervix, pangkar rahim, kita ada cancer rahim, kita ada cancer ovary.
Jadi ini semua adalah cancer yang berbeza.
Betul.
Cancer yang
Wow,
berbeza.
interesting.
Oh wow. Tapi kenapa hari ni kita cakap pasal cancer cervix?
Yeah, it's one of the cancer yang sangat senang untuk di-prevent
Betul.
with awareness. That's why we're going to talk about it today. Yeah.
Okay, so satu cancer tu apa? Selalu orang mesti tak tahu kan macam tanda dapat cancer cervix macam mana, because it's down there and it's like So tanda cancer cervix ni apa doc?
Are there like early symptoms that you can, is it on the external or internal?
Okay,
Something like that.
So usually for cancer cervix ni, first of all, cancer cervix is not something that happens overnight.
Okay.
Usually it takes 10 to 15 years or even more untuk dia jadi cancer cervix.
Okay.
And kita kena tahu juga apa penyebab cancer cervix. So more than 98% of the time it's because of
Okay.
jangkitan HPV yang you ada for 10 or more years. That's when they start changing your cell into cancerous.
I think people normally talk about HIV
Yeah,
and
this
they
is
may not
HPV.
be used to HPV. So like,
Yeah.
what's the difference actually between HIV dengan HPV?
In a simple term, it's a different virus.
A completely
HPV,
different?
yeah. HPV
Okay.
is human papilloma virus. HIV is human immunodeficiency virus. Yeah.
And what's the difference?
HPV is the virus that causes cervical cancer.
Okay.
Yeah.
HIV doesn't cause.
HIV is the one that causes AIDS.
Okay, now we
Lain.
know,
Now we
guys.
know.
It's not the same.
And
Very
like
educational.
how,
Very
how,
good.
how you get the virus itself lah. HIV usually
By
from
touching also you can get it, right? They say ke?
touching.
Is it?
Which virus? Tapi both tak lah.
HIV,
Any.
Yeah, tak.
HIV, sorry. HPV?
HPV also tak. Okay, doctor, how do we get HPV?
Okay.
Yes, betul.
Okay, so HPV ni you get it through sexual relationship.
Okay, only that?
You can have other ways to
Okay.
dapatkan juga, tapi most commonly it's macam sexually transmitted jugalah.
Okay.
Okay, but not only penetrative, bukan seks lah. Bergeser pun boleh, dekat, manja-manja,
Wow. Be
sikit,
careful.
pemujung, semua pun boleh. Okay, but to say about HPV kan, it's such a common infection. Dia macam kita batuk is a different virus lah. You know, it's very common like that. So globally lah ni 8 daripada 10 daripada kita pernah kena HPV pun.
Oh.
It comes and it goes.
Okay.
Untuk most of the people. Tapi ada certain people yang where immune system dia lemah ke, dia smokers ke, benda tu stay in their body for many years.
I just want to add to what Dr. Ashley said. HPV got a lot of different strains.
Okay.
So like different strains can cause different effect.
Okay.
Like HPV 16 and 18 causes cervical cancer.
Okay.
And other strains can cause like genital warts, something like that. And when a patient got infected with HPV, it goes unnoticed. It is asymptomatic. You can get cervical cancer without you knowing until it's late stage.
Oh no.
That's why awareness is very important, because if we tackle it at the early stage, we can prevent it. But because it's asymptomatic, usually people will go there and they came with symptoms, cannot pass urine, cannot pass bowel motion, because the mass is already big and it's compressing the urethra. It's too late already. That's why awareness is very important, because we want to tackle it early. And how do we do that? Is by HPV screening.
Itu dia, guys. Sebenarnya dia dah jump straight away dah. Tapi thank you so much.
Allah.
No, it's okay.
No,
no,
it's
no,
good,
because
yeah.
this is what we want.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's okay to check kan. Macam some people kan macam ada takut kan. Orang takut macam-macam. Sebenarnya tak kena check. Yeah.
Faham. You should get checked. Don't be afraid. Sebab at the hospital now, even in I know National Cancer Society pun tahu, dah makin tinggi tau kes cervical cancer in girls, young women. So it's worrying lah. That's why it is very important to spread awareness. And don't be afraid. Just come and get yourself checked. There's nothing wrong with that. And I know some women macam takut nak go get checked sebab dia orang takut the perspective
Yeah.
towards them, right? But doctor, please back me up on this. Is sometimes it's not the women. Fine, you can trust your partner, you can trust your boyfriend or husband or whatever, or my husband is loyal to me, but suddenly dia dapat cervical cancer, tapi dia tak sleep with other men.
People, yeah.
So we never know. But then tak nak lah tuduh like the husband pun ni. Just having sexual intercourse can expose your risk to getting cervical cancer, to getting the HPV infection.
Oh wow. Okay, so bila seseorang tu dah didiagnose dengan kanser cervix, contohlah kalau didiagnose dengan kanser cervix, and then rawatan macam mana yang they will have to go through? What kind of treatment?
So it depends on the staging tau. So
Okay.
macam tengok benda tu whether dah merebak. So dekat cervix tu, kalau dia ada kat situ je, kita panggil benda tu local lah. Okay, so that's early stage, that's good. Tapi kalau dia dah merebak ke lymph node, kelenjar berdekatan, so means it's dah locally advanced. Ataupun dia dah pergi dekat organ lain, that means it's, you know, dah majorly advanced lah, metastasis we call it lah. Macam how fast?
Yeah.
Kita orang tak ada time frame for that lah.
Okay.
But cancer memang cepat lah merebak. Under 6 months, if it goes untreated, it will go berjalan-jalan lah satu badan. Okay, so it depends on the staging and involvement of other organs and also lymph node lah. Tapi usually kalau, and also kita kena tengok patient tu, berapa umur patient ni nak beranak lagi tak, you know.
Can you get pregnant after that?
Kena tengok staging of the cancer and apa treatment. So katakan benda tu kat situ je, dia tak merebak langsung, then maybe and patient hoping to get pregnant using her own rahim and everything, then we can just potong bahagian sikit je lah, kita ambil macam kita potong sikit and that's it. Kalau kita rasa macam they need to have chemo chemotherapy and also radiotherapy, and the patient wants to mengandung again after that, we might need to retrieve the eggs, keluarkan dia punya, freeze the eggs lah, so that they can use. Sebab chemotherapy and radiotherapy can kill the eggs, can make someone infertile. And then again depends on the staging. Kalau dah merebak, tak nak, memang kita kena buang the whole rahim lah, the whole organ kat situ kan, sebab it's very close together. And then yes, you have to go through chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and yeah, according to the stage lah.
Okay. Just now you mentioned about how people are afraid to get tested, and also you shared about how once you know you have it, then the process is a lot. It's so heavy. So I'm just curious. Ada tak orang yang once they get tested, they know they have it, but then they want to be in denial?
So dia macam 5 stages of grief tau. So any macam big major diagnosis macam ni kan, bad diagnosis, mesti dia orang akan go through the 5 stages of grief.
Okay.
You guys tahu tak apa itu kan? First denial. Tapi dia orang tak ikut turutan tau. Ataupun ada yang tak alami pun all 5 ni. They can just have 1 or 2 or 3 macam tu. So the first one is denial. Memang we see a lot of denial lah, especially in younger patient. The first thing they ask, is that really my result?
Oh.
So then kita rasa macam, alamak, aku silap bagi result. So you kena really macam,
I'm scared.
So usually when we break the bad news, kita kena baca nama patient dulu. Okay, you ni date you, date of birth you kan? Ya saya. Okay,
That's why they do that at hospitals.
This is confirm patient.
We know.
So diorang tanya, is that really my result? Then kita pun kena layan
Allah,
lah. Kita kena macam,
kesiannya.
okay, let me double confirm, make sure everything is ni kan. So yeah, denial definitely. And then sometimes they just go off, kata, okay, I'll come back next week, but they never turn up. So you have to chase them up. And then later on they will come lah, but they just need to go disappear for 1 or 2 weeks because of the denial stage. Definitely.
Pap smear is one of it, is it?
Wow, dia jump
Sorry, I just tiba-tiba.
What is pap smear? I pun tak
Okay,
tahu.
sorry.
Okay.
Doc, what is pap smear? Sorry.
Okay, pap smear. Allah, ramai sangat.
wow.
Lagi-lagi kalau
What a
patient
noble
sebab
job.
I dekat dalam ONG sekarang kan. So you masukkan pap smear ni, you guys, I rasa people call it mulut itik. You pernah dengar mulut itik tak?
Tak.
Oh shit.
I call it
Yeah.
pap smear.
Pap smear
kan speculum.
Pap smear ni dia masukkan speculum. Speculum ni dipanggil mulut itik. Orang tak nak buat benda tu sebab sakit kan. Dia tak adalah sakit. Dia just discomfort kan. Dia macam the trick is that tarik nafas, relaxkan your body. Sebab if you macam stress, yang tu yang sakit. Sebab you have to push it against your contracted muscle kat bawah.
Okay.
So yeah, pap smear again. Kita masukkan speculum, and then we macam masukkan like a brush at your cervix, and then we send it to the lab and check if there's any abnormal growth. Macam tu.
Dia basically vagina examination.
Yeah.
So
Okay, itu I faham.
kan vagina examination. So we position the patient so that we can see the vagina. But because cervix is on top of the vagina kan, so we need to open up the vagina to have a look lah.
So is that one of the
we call
treatment?
the monjong
Ke
itik
tak?
lah. It's
Oh,
a
okay,
instrument.
okay. Yes, yes.
Dulu I think we use macam metal punya tau.
Ya,
Yang kita
betul.
sterilize after kita guna.
Okay.
So nowadays we guna plastic and it's not that big compared to the metal one. So nowadays punya sekarang, so you jangan takut because it's more tolerable. And we use lubricants, okay, to make it easy to go in. So ramai orang okay lah, more accepting of doing it actually. And then there's also another way of checking, which is to check for HPV virus.
Okay.
The presence of HPV virus.
Okay.
So this one is a lot simpler because it's self-collected. So you do it yourself. So you didn't need to use the
Speculum.
speculum. But it's just like macam kita check COVID kan, kita cucuk hidung kan.
Cucuk hidung ni you
So
cucuk
this
dekat
one you
bawah.
cucuk kat bawah.
Dia ada HPV testing, dia ada low vaginal swab.
kan?
Yeah,
That's quite
that's quite a
a few kan?
range lah.
So,
Depends
I
on what
macam-
you looking
Yeah.
for lah. You tengok apa.
You told Adil kan macam lucky you don't have to do that
Yeah,
kan.
so
Lucky
blessed.
ada prostate cancer.
Yeah.
Okay lah.
Okay. God
No,
is
tak balance. Okay, women and men never.
Kalau pesakit muda yang kena, sebab I don't think this cancer is a age bias cancer kan. mesti ada juga pesakit muda dan juga pesakit yang lebih tua. So kita ambil pesakit yang lebih muda lah. Misalnya pesakit muda, bila dia kena, mestilah ada apa, tak yakin, tak confident, insecure. So from your personal experience, macam mana selalunya kanser ni boleh ubah seseorang tu punya hidup?
Cancer is a big diagnosis. Okay, it's not just macam you macam ada penyakit lain, batuk, you makan antibiotics, you over it kan. So cancer is actually a journey. First you got hit by the diagnosis, and then you got hit immediately by the treatment plan. And the treatment plan is not easy, and usually it's a long treatment plan. And then this condition and then the treatment plan, it affects your whole life, your family, your partner, your family dynamics, you punya anak-anak, you punya masa depan. Kalau you tak kahwin lagi, you're thinking about bolehkah aku kahwin, boleh ke partner aku terima aku, kalau boleh terima pun am I gonna be able to beranak, ada anak sendiri, what happened to my work, you know, like because the treatment will take 6 to 12 months. Am I going to be laid off from work? So, and the treatment itself, it's very taxing to your body, physically and mentally, because it's very harsh punya treatment. The chemotherapy and the surgery itself, the radiotherapy to that part can be really damaging to your vagina. You can have vagina yang dry, not like before, you know, you have all these changes. So it affects someone punya self-esteem really lah, you know. So that's why for a cancer patient, they need to have the sokongan mental and moral at the very start. As soon as they get diagnosis, we don't wait until they come to us. I'm really struggling, can I see someone about it? We don't wait for that. We tell them to, okay, come, let's see our counselling today. Just to touch base. If there's nothing to talk about pun tak apa, as long as you know there's someone here and know your story from day one. Yes.
It took a really huge burden lah out of a patient with a cancer. It's so sad. It's so heartbreaking kan, to see them to go through all the process. So sad.
So how do we give them support? How do
Kalau
we?
macam outsiders kan. So for outsiders ni, I think one big thing is not to give unsolicited advice. Okay. Yeah. I think be there physically, lend some ears, you know, talk to me about everything. You can give advice like, okay, you can do this, you're strong, but you can cry. No problem. You don't have to be all the time strong. You can cry, you can come to me and have a breakdown, no problem. You can be there for them physically. You punya appointment bila? Come, let me take you. I think I ambil AL kat tempat kerja, I bawa you sekali. Okay lah. Your kids want to eat KFC ke? Let me grab you KFC so your kids can have KFC. Benda macam tu lah, you know. And yang paling penting sekali, unsolicited advice lah. You know what they always say, why don't you try this daun lah? Why don't you try these herbs? Why don't you try
Makanlah
this?
ni ubat tikus something.
Kaduk.
Please lah, don't buy those things yang self-claim dekat TikTok. Especially tu tak ada patient masuk buat sebab dia nak,
You would see this in HKL.
latent phase of labour tau. Tapi bila buat, we run some blood test, dia ada transaminitis. For what kan? Macam patient is completely healthy, antenatally uneventful. Lepas tu bila korang tanya, dia makan kapsul coconut dara, virgin coconut oil. But in capsule,
Transaminitis tu maksudnya dia punya hati tu macam dah
hati dia
rosak
dah
sikit.
hewaya. So macam kenapa makan kan rasa kelapa dara bagus. Okay, kelapa dara is bagus. Kapsul kelapa dara is
datang dari mana? You know,
macam mana? Exactly. Lepas tu beli kat mana? TikTok. Allahu Akbar.
Yeah. No, but sometimes I feel because, like, you know, when you're at your lowest, you're so desperate. So, like, you know, whatever that comes your way, you're like, you know what, I'll just give it a go because I may not have much longer. So that's why it's so important for us to be able to support them and give them the right advice from the start.
You're right. Because they say when you are at your lowest, lagipun cancer kan, you are macam you lost control of yourself tau. Macam orang tanya, macam doktor akan cakap, okay lepas ni kau pergi chemotherapy, dia didictate what to do kan. So bila masa macam dia boleh makan ubat ni, beli sendiri, atas usaha sendiri, rasa dia gain some control in their life. And you make a valid point about us. kita kena give them education, information, saying what it might not be the safest. Why don't you go back to your doctor and talk about these specific supplements, whether it's good for you or not.
I rasa it's very important to always trust your doctors.
Okay.
And I rasa sometimes the lacking part is also from as doctors about busy. Kita tak educate patient enough kan. So macam diorang macam maybe ada kot cara lain yang doktor lupa nak bagi tahu. No, whatever we suggested to you, that is the best care of plan. Okay, if you tak trust that doctor, if you not go ask for opinions, go ask from different doctors, it's fine. But jangan tanya ChatGPT, jangan tanya Google, and don't ever ask TikTok
live tu. Kita orang dekat NCSM memang selalu dapat memang kita orang doktor memang buat consultation with cancer patient, not to give second opinion, but to just address their concern. Macam apa yang tak sempat diorang cakap dekat specialist kan, because they're very busy, so they tanya us lah, they ask us, and then we say to them, always don't override your consultant, your specialist punya advice. Follow that treatment plan because it's a legit one. And kita macam console dia lah, macam give them more reassurance macam tu.
I nak add to how to help, macam if your friends or your family members can never ever treat them like a sick person. Macam dia okay, dia duduk diam, tiba-tiba you okay tak? Tak, benda tu sometimes it irritates the patient. Ni apa yang I dengar daripada patient lah, macam kenapa sikit nak tanya okay tak, macam can you just let me live a normal life? It's sad for me to live this illness dah.
Satu cakap, sakit tu kifarah, it's okay. Marah patient dengan macam tu.
No.
Oh my god.
Yes. So
apakah aku jahat sangat?
I like it when doctor pointed that out, because we live in such a judgmental society. I'm so sorry guys. So doc, how do we educate our community out there not to be judgmental towards these patients? Please.
I think first of all, you need to educate yourself. You need to watch this podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
I think from today's podcast, satu message I nak take home. HPV infection is common.
Okay,
regardless of what you do, it's a common infection. It's like a common cold of, I always say this to my patients dekat klinik, it's like a common cold of your vagina. Like,
okay, that's a nice way to put it.
It's a common cold of your vagina. If you healthy, it will go away in 1 to 2 years. Just make sure that you do your pap smear every 2 years and do your HPV test every 5 years. It will never turn into cancer.
Okay.
Because if you buat ujian saringan secara berkala, secara regular macam tu, if something sangkut, it will sangkut at the very early stage, pre-cancerous, not even cancerous stage. So dia ada banyak stage tau, cancer cervix ni. Before dia jadi cancer cervix, dia ada banyak stage. Pre-cancer, mula it's undifferentiated, some changes, and then pre-cancer CIN1, CIN2. Even that CIN1 and 2 is not cancer, it's pre-cancerous stage.
Okay.
Betapa pentingnya benda ni, you kena buat ujian berkala regularly every 2 years. You will be fine. What's the other way we can do to prevent HPV infection?
Of course, HPV vaccine. We've been getting that since secondary school
days.
Yeah, but it's not just that lah. Like if you got the vaccines during your high school, doesn't mean that you're protected from HPV.
Kan? Yes.
Jangan ada macam aku dah ambil HPV waktu aku sekolah, so aku takkan kena. No, that is so wrong. You should get it annually. Not annually lah.
No, meaning, I think you're meaning to say the vaccine does cover you for a lifetime.
Okay.
Cumanya you still need to do your pap smear. And HPV DNA, because none of the vaccine in the world, like influenza, pneumococcal, it doesn't protect you 100%. Okay, so you're meaning to say if you got the vaccine, you still can catch HPV infection. That's why you cannot, I've taken the vaccine, I don't need to do pap smear anymore. You have to still do your pap smear.
So get the vaccine, but be a responsible patient as to always do your checkups.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, what I meant to say just now is do your HPV test annually, especially if you have a high risk behavior. I mean, like if you have sexual intercourse with your partner, so do it yearly. There's nothing wrong with doing it yearly, rather than you jumpa at the very late stage and you have to go through all that extensive treatments that is so hard on you, on your family, on your friends and all that. So just do it once yearly. It's very easy. HPV testing. Just like nasal swab, COVID test tapi dekat bawah.
Betul.
So Doc, untuk orang yang mengalaminya, touch wood lah, hopefully semua orang dijauhkan daripada this disease. So how do one remain committed to having their treatments going? I don't know, how do you get yourself a pet talk ke apa ke? How do you just remain committed?
As a patient lah, you need to be first you kena ada sokongan moral yang kuat. You need to have your partner with your family support system yang sama satu boat dengan you, sama pemahaman dengan
It's
you.
really hard.
So that's why macam kalau you nak pergi for consultation, you kena bawa partner you supaya apa yang you dengar itulah yang dia dengar. And then you can even go to the counsellors together. So information dengan education is important. Dari segi ubat ni macam ni, you have to do it, you tak boleh miss a dose, you tak boleh miss your chemotherapy session because it's important. So diorang kena ada that kind of ni lah. Other than that, you have to have some kind of faith lah. It's actually orang yang sakit kanser ni, they have to find a balance between fikir macam aku kena ada hope, I can sembuh, dengan lagi satu, what if it doesn't work? Sia-sia je, They really have to, berdiri di tengah lah. And how to do that, as I said, point number 1 tadi, and then second, some people really hold on into that spirituality ni, maksudnya kembali kepada fitrah, semayang ke apa semua kan, do whatever. And then thirdly, they can do something that they can macam mana cari something to look forward to in life lah. Be hopeful lah. I have a patient that when they go to a treatment ke apa, dia bawa buku and dia tulis, okay, today I'm grateful for this.
Yes, that is one of a good method lah. If you're at your lowest point, practice gratitude. Count your gratitude. So simple macam, Alhamdulillah, I woke up today. Alhamdulillah, I breathe today. Alhamdulillah, I got food to eat today. Yeah, as simple as that. Just count your blessings. That's a way of shifting your mind towards more positive things.
So that's towards the patient. What about towards people around the patients, like the caretaker, husbands, family? How do we tell people how they need to behave? Because people can be, again, sorry guys, I don't want to use this word, but people can be judgmental and they can be very harsh on each other kan. So how do these people around them nak tolong? Basically lah, how do you kan? Then some people are very macam, ni mesti kan, that kind of thing. How do we like,
macam kalau perempuan kena survey, ni mesti liar ni kan.
Yeah, we have that stigma, but also on your point, not only because he or she is the partner, tapi I think from the cancer patient's point of view, he or she may not want to listen to the partner because he or she thinks that, I'm going through something you don't understand. Yeah, so how can you advise me when you don't have what I have? Macam tu.
So caregivers burn out. Pernah dengar tak?
Pernah.
Caregivers burn out. Memang almost all caregivers will experience this lah. One of the caregiver pernah cakap, I'm feeling like I'm walking on eggshells dekat rumah. I don't know how to act. I don't know what to say. Kalau I sakit, demam ke apa, I tak boleh kata I sakit because somebody is having cancer. That's the worst sakit that you can have. So sehari dua macam ni okay, but bayangkan for 6 months you just and then the family dynamic have changed. Dulu bini dia masak, bini dia hantar anak pergi sekolah, now he has to do everything. Dulu ada income from the wife, now I have to do everything. So all these things can bagi dia stress. Caregivers burn out, and some more we said don't say anything to her. Just macam you cakap tadi kan, don't say anything lah, all this unsolicited advice, just follow what she said. But sometimes cancer patient, they can have their moments as well, moment of kata kalau betul tu betul, but sometimes they really jadi macam explosion, tak betul sekejap. So it's really hard on the caregivers. That's why counselling and mental support for the caregivers is as equally as important dengan patient. But tu dekat NCSM kita bagi counselling not only to the patient but also to the caregivers. And also sometimes we do couples counselling.
Okay.
Sit down both of you in front of us. Let's talk about the situation.
Do you want to add anything?
Nah, I totally agree with whatever Dr Ashley said. Cuma tu lah, sedih doktor tengok all the cancer patient. And like, I just want to add to Adil's question just now. That's why don't ever go to the patient macam, oh, kau sakit macam tu ke? Alah, tak ada apa-apa lah. Kau tengok orang dekat Palestin. Orang Palestin tu lagi teruk. No, why would you compare people punya struggle? Patient tu tengah rasa macam tu, don't give advice as if you've been in their shoes. You just ask them, how can I help? Are you okay today? If dia nampak tak okay, and don't ask that questions too many times. And ever compare someone's misery. Whatever that patient's feeling is valid. Just focus on that.
Don't compare and don't meremehkan, you know.
Don't meremeh, don't compare.
And be mindful lah. Basically be mindful towards anyone lah.
Be a decent human being lah.
Exactly. It's not senang.
Decency. Betul. Decency.
Just be decent.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. Belum habis lagi. So we're gonna move to the more fun side. You could.
Yeah, the
fun
lighter
side.
side.
Lighter side, yeah. So we're gonna play a game. Mitos pertama adalah hanya perempuan yang gatal atau ramai pasangan kena kanser cervix.
No. Mitos.
Why is it mitos? Are you sure?
100% sure. Why are you giving me that look? Oh
Explain.
my god. I rasa we dah mention just now. Bukan perempuan yang gatal je kena.
Okay.
Kalau lelaki yang gatal pun, lepas tu dia balik bagi dekat perempuan yang macam sangat baik. Wife duduk kat rumah jaga anak je.
Yeah.
Tak boleh jadi juga.
Tapi itulah, Doc, penyakit tu kena dekat perempuan. Lepas perempuan juga yang dipersalahkan. Macam mana ni?
Exactly. Sebab tu we women need to take care of ourselves. Don't trust men.
Even your husbands.
And I think most importantly,
You never know.
kan, I think we don't have to talk so much about who give it to who give it to who.
Betul.
We just say it's a common infection for anyone who is sexually active or things like that. It's such a common thing.
Vaginal flu. Like you said.
Yeah,
Vaginal flu.
common cold of the vagina.
Yeah. That's
and
nice,
common
that's
cold of
nice.
the penis as well.
But HPV boleh infect lelaki juga. You can get genital wart.
You can get penile cancer. Cancer
No, I mean
penis.
like all the men lah. Sorry, ada.
But okay lah, at least now Adil and all the men that watch this podcast knows.
We're educated now.
Yes. So now kita aware lah ya.
Yes. Thank you for
Okay.
that. Second myth. Masa rawatan kena sentiasa positif baru boleh sembuh. Is that right or wrong?
Wrong lah, you know. Everyone's entitled to have mix of emotion. You tak semestinya kena strong all the time. And remember I said you can, masa you bagi advice tu kan, be strong apa semua okay, but you also have to selitkan kata but if you nak cry ke, you want a shoulder to lean on ke, then by all means do so.
Betul lah, Doc, because toxic positivity is real, you know. Sometimes people are just so, sampai people lupa yang, you know, we're also human. We have moments yang, come on, we need to cry kan. Macam all the time like, you nak ask positive pun tak okay juga, because we're humans.
And we need to normalise that.
Yes,
To normalise
Right.
orang menangis ke, ada periods normal.
Betul. Even doctors got depression. Even doctors have to seek help from the psychiatrist.
Yeah, normal.
I like that. We're gonna go to that topic next episode. So myth number 3, kalau tak ada simptom maksudnya tak ada cancer cervix.
Salah. Cancer cervix is symptomatic. So kalau you macam rasa you normal, you probably have cancer cervix. This message is brought to you by
So kena
kena
pergi
check annually. Once you dah have a sexual intercourse, go get yourself checked. Okay? Sebab kalau lagi-lagi at early age, once you had sex at early age, you dah exposed. You dah have that exposure to the HPV. Ada that exposure, lagi lama you macam tinggal dia, tak test, the more chances of you getting cervical cancer.
Betul. Yep.
Okay.
Before we move on to our next myth or fakta, I'd like to ask a question first. Like, if you could talk to a cancer cell in your patient, what would you tell that cancer cell?
Hey, get lost. You're not invited here. Why are you here? Why are you here?
Annoying kan?
I cakap dekat cancer cell, so don't be like my ex. Don't be like my ex. You're
You're the
just
past.
here and want to make a trouble out of my life. Get lost.
Yes.
I felt that. You'll be very strongly.
Habis lah ex dia. Ex dia tengok podcast dia batuk kat rumah.
I hope not.
I like that question. Thank you.
Gonna go?
Okay. So mitos keempat, kalau dah ambil vaksin HPV, tak payah buat pap smear dah.
Dah cakap dah tadi. kena buat juga.
Doktor marah cakap dah tadi.
Because tak ada vaksin dalam dunia ni yang boleh bagi you 100% protection.
Right.
So kena juga buat.
Right.
Okay. Next one. Cancer cervix ni confirm membawa maut. Yes or no?
Sedih nak tekan.
Cuma lagi kita tekan together.
Tekan lagi.
1, 2, 3 kita jawab yes or no. No.
Okay.
No.
Good.
That's good. I masih ingatkan yes tadi.
Yeah,
Oh ya
that's
ke?
why.
Ya ke?
Kita orang saja je bagi perempuan sikit.
So tak raya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah. That's good.
Semua kanser, setiap jenis kanser dia ada statistik dia lah.
Okay.
And it's heavily dependent on your staging lah. Okay, so that's why screening is important.
Very.
You know, regularly, so that kalau you kena di peringkat awal, because peringkat awal apa jenis kanser pun easily treatable. Survival rate is higher. Okay, tapi kalau stage 4 ni, well, it makes sense, you know, survival rate dia lower lah. Tapi ada juga orang yang survive stage 4 pun. So itulah, it's a fine balance lah for you to ada hope and takut mati, itulah. Tapi stay hopeful lah.
Yeah.
Nice.
As you guys can see, we have the vaccines, we have the screening test, we have pap smear, we have everything. We have all the things that we need to prevent cervical cancer. But what we're lacking is that awareness from the citizens. They don't know about this, so they don't go get themselves checked. And then bila dah dapat tahu pun dah late stage, which is hard to tackle lah compared to early phase. That's why it's very, very, very important, especially women. Take care of your reproductive system, take care of your own health. Don't rely on others to take care of you. Go get yourself checked every once in a while.
Ada satu benda yang quite big in Malaysia also is a lack of accessibility.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah.
Betul.
So awareness tu satu, tapi accessibility also lah. So that's why NGO macam CSM ni memang kita kena pergi tempat terpencil ni. We always go kampung orang asli, Sabah, Sarawak, yang jauh-jauh naik sampan apa semua kan. So we memang kita distribute lah the HPV sample tu, and then of course we follow up with their results apa semua lah. Yeah, so that's a big thing in Malaysia also lah, lack of accessibility. Something that we can improve lah, insyaAllah.
Hopefully doctors watches this as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Board members watches this as
People with
well.
power.
Mitos yang terakhir, vaksin HPV ini cuma untuk budak perempuan yang masih sekolah.
Salah. Even adults can get HPV vaccines.
So yes, memang vaksin kita nak bagi, yang paling elok sekali kita bagi
Early
masa you
age
muda,
Okay.
sebab immune system masih kuat, and then kita nak bagi you muda before you become sexually active, before you rapat-rapat manja kan. Okay, itu memang betul lah. Tapi at any age boleh juga. I think the cut off age is 45. After 45 macam dah tak ada berkesan lagi, so no point. And then girls, not only girls, lelaki pun boleh dapatkan juga. The one that the public school are giving to Form 1 girls, that one is a different brand. Brand tu memang studied for girls only. So memang bukan untuk lelaki. Tapi there's another brand out there. I don't need to sebut the brand lah. Can I sebut the brand?
I don't.
Boleh lah kan?
boleh.
Okay. So yang kat sekolah tu Cervarix 2.
Alright.
So that protects you against HPV 16 and 18, the strains, and that one is highly responsible for cervical cancer. And then the one that we have out here privately is Gardasil 9. So dia macam iPhone lah, iPhone 6 dengan iPhone 16. So
jauh.
Gardasil 9 covers 9 strains. 16, 18 ada, tapi ada additional strains lah. Okay.
Okay, macam mana multivitamin dan vitamin C.
Yeah, maybe. Yes.
Yeah, you can say that. Sure.
Okay. That one lelaki dan perempuan. So if you nak bagi dekat anak lelaki you, by all means go to any private clinic, ada jual punya.
Okay.
It is very expensive.
It is
So
expensive, yeah.
last year we actually distributed 300 doses HPV vaccination for free.
Wow. To give it to us.
We were donated.
betul.
So
Expensive.
last year we were donated 300,000 HPV 4. So Gardasil 4. So not 9. And we finished it within 11 months. So seluruh Malaysia kita pergi. We touch every district because that's our pledge. So that one habis already in January. This year we got G9 hopefully that we want to distribute also for. Usually we want to give it to the younger kids lah, younger population, so that they get protected earlier on.
This is a call for the government to subsidize the vaccinations even more because it's very important.
Yes.
Yeah, and by doing this, you're going to save so many more lives. So
Betul,
this is how your resources or money is going to be efficiently used.
Yep.
They're doing well with cervix too.
Okay.
For girls kan. But we have to think about boys pula.
Betul. It's now time for you guys to step up your game.
Yeah, exactly.
Protect the men, the boys also.
All of this.
Your life matters.
All of us.
We're all equal.
Yeah. Because boys and girls can get HPV. They can pass it on to each other. So why not we protect the boys as well?
Yeah, that's a good message.
Yeah, but we've been talking about vaccines and vaccines and the treatment. There's another way also to protect yourself from getting HPV.
Please share with us.
Very method.
What's that?
Berry
Condoms.
method. Okay,
Oh.
condoms.
Yeah.
All right.
Good to prevent any kind of STIs
Yeah.
kan?
Any
STIs. Yalah.
Just wear it. Sometimes guys don't want to wear it because it doesn't taste as similar. It doesn't feel as similar kan. Don't think of your nafsu too
Yeah, don't be
much.
selfish.
Yeah, don't be selfish because dia bukan, by wearing condoms, it doesn't just help you tau. Doesn't help the women, but also the guy. Yeah, fikir jauh lah before you do anything. Don't just do it for fun without thinking of all the consequences, because it's not just HPV. Ada a lot of other sexually transmitted infections. Gonorrhea, chlamydia, syphilis and all that. Berry method is the way to prevent all of that to happen lah.
Okay, we're done with the questions now.
Thank you.
But then before we end, are there any interesting stories that you want to share?
Oh, we would love to know.
about
A short one. Macam, I'm sure you've met like thousands of patients kan?
yeah.
Banyak sangat nak
Folder yang
pilih
ke-6
Yeah, there's this quote I read online. It said, you can have all the problems in the world, but once you have a huge sickness like cancer, for example, all your problems are just narrowed to one, and you forget about everything else.
Betul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there something like as heavy or interesting you want to share?
I rasa ada satu cerita ni. Basically cancer, as we know, it affects the whole family kan. So macam kalau cancer wanita ni obviously affects lelaki, and we heard a lot of story from my patient, macam nak buang payudara, breast cancer. My husband tak kasi. What does it have to do with this, Like my husband tak kasi. Who do you think you are, So benda tu very sedih lah dengar, because I tak sangka sebelum buat benda ni, I tak sangka ada orang jadi macam tu, sebab my husband's very good man, my dad is a very good man. I'm sure your family pun kita tak boleh jangka dia orang akan cakap macam tu, but ada certain family yang laki dia memang cakap macam tu. So I don't know lah, they need, I don't know what to do on that lah, but on that particular case memang kita panggil laki kau datang sini, kita macam brainwash laki dia lah, but how do we do that on a larger scale? I guess by doing this, raise
Awareness, educate, just education. Okay, women, kalau wife tak nak doktor sebab husband saya tak bagi, betul, kita kena dengar cakap husband kita, but at what point? Tuhan Allah sendiri pun dah cakap, kalau benda tu membahayakan nyawa, husband suruh buat, kita ada hak untuk lawan apa yang dia suruh. Sebab cancer kalau tak buang, dia boleh
Merebak.
metastasize everywhere in your body. So late stage, confirm the survival rate is very low. So why would you want to listen to your husband bila dia suggest something that can end your life? Love yourself, women.
Itu tu I rasa yang paling macam touching lah. Every time I come across this kind of situation, husband tak bagi, for me that's very touching lah. Rasa macam tertarik I punya hati macam tu.
Thanks for sharing. Thank you very much. What about you?
Tu husband, I rasa sebab I macam dekat ward je kan, and patient gynae onco. So it's so sad lah, sebab usually gynae onco I deal with elderly yang dah tua-tua kan, and then diorang kena, because bila dah late stage cancer, it's so hard tau untuk jaga. So the family just, oh my god, the family just tinggal dia dekat situ, especially during raya lah, like you tengok all the makcik macam they just sick, and then they cannot control their bowel, they cannot control their urine.
Macam helpless gitu kan.
Helpless. And they didn't ask for that. Tapi the family just abandoned them there. It's so sad lah. That's why get yourself checked now before it's late.
That's true.
Aww. Lah, I feel it. I feel your emotions. Just really can easily cry. Goodness. Okay. Tapi while you both were talking, tadi I nak tanya something. For example, someone dah kena this cancer cervix. And then insyaAllah heal ya. Ada perubahan tak hidup dia selepas tu? Kalau dia sembuh?
Definitely.
Perubahannya macam mana tu?
Depends on the treatment juga kan.
Yeah, betul. So physically depends on the treatment.
Okay.
Dari segi mentally, identity, you know.
Yeah.
So mentally, trauma, big trauma. So after you survive from a cancer, of course you need to do regular check-up kan. Regular check-up, every time you nak pergi, you takut gila. They find it really scary. They takut nak dengar cancer tu datang balik, relapse. So you know, before check-up. Can. So before dia punya tarikh nak follow up tu, they have sleepless nights. They cry, you know, they they very and then tu satu, and then they have survivor's guilt, you know. Dan tak sangka they got through this where kawan sebelah chemotherapy meninggal. You know, because why? How come I survive? So these patients need to have ongoing counselling, though, even after they survive. And then these are the people that usually go into support groups. They do other things like fundraising. They join runs ini for cancer survivors. They in NCSM kita ada guided patient support. So where you can be a volunteer for GPS tu, they station themselves in HKL. So whoever's got diagnosed with cancer, they spend like 5 minutes with the specialist. Okay, next, and then they lost a bit and come here, let's have a seat. You know, I'm a cancer survivor. Blah 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 blah. I can help you this and that. So NCSM ada guided patient support. So most of the guided patient support volunteers are survivors themselves. So you need to do this kind of thing lah to distract yourself, because definitely things have changed. Kerja, you lost your job for 1 year, 1.5 years. It's hard for you to go back to working again. So most of them tak kerja langsung, you know. So they really have to fill their time with doing other things. So big changes. And then you tengok cancer survivors, wow, they're so happy. Kan, you pernah tak come across cancer survivors?
So grateful.
Yeah, they are the happiest bunch. Dekat NCSM tu, level 1 ialah kita orang kata level, kita ada 4 tingkat kot. Level 1 tu adalah survivors punya area. Very happy. Macam get second chance at life. You know? They're very grateful. They're the nicest people you can come across.
Thank you so much. I mean, do you want to add anything?
There's this one cervical run event yang HTA buat, Hospital Tunku Azizah, which is under HKL juga. So our department, ONG department, buat this event just to create more awareness regarding cervical cancer, especially among teenagers. So yeah, please join. You can just like walk in during that day, and we have like a lot of booth going on there. And kalau you bayar the ticket, you can actually get the HPV test.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Do you want to share anything?
Yes,
with the
okay.
audience?
I want you guys to be aware of National Cancer Society Malaysia. We have a website, cancer.org.my. You can call a toll-free hotline number 1-800-88-1000.
Okay.
Kat situ macam a wealth of knowledge lah. Siapa nak jadi volunteer pun boleh cakap kat situ.
Nice.
Siapa yang cancer patient and caregivers yang nak support for subsidized cancer drugs, for free counselling, free dietitian pun boleh kat situ juga. And then we have similar run events. It's called Relay for Life, and it's happening. Okay. Yang akan datang ni kita ada buat kat 6 location. One will be in Penang at the end of May. And also we have Instagram. You can buka Instagram kita, NCSM, National Cancer Society Malaysia, and look at the events punya ni lah. Okay, but yeah. So I nak tengok lah you punya event tu. I nak datang ke tak?
Jom lah, come join us, everyone.
Support one another.
Yes, of course. It's for a good cause kan?
Yes.
My God, I love today's episode. I felt so macam penuh terisi.
So insightful.
Thank you so much. We're very grateful for you to be here and share with us your knowledge and experience. So we're Very humble to listen to everything.
Very humble.
So guys, go get myself checked again this year. Alright, thank you so much Dr. Ashley. Thank you Dr. Adrina.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you,
for
thank
coming.
you.
Okay, so kita sampai episod, kita dah sampai yang terakhir lah, dah tak ada apa-apa. Tapi kalau you guys ada sebarang soalan yang nak ditanya, mungkin nak undang lagi doktor yang sama untuk tanya lagi soalan yang lebih sensitif. Yalah kan, sebab ini pun tak cukup sebenarnya. My producer kat belakang dah ni. Dia cakap, dah, that's it. Let's stop talking already. So, thank you so much to you both. I'm Shahzabi.
I'm Adil Luka.
Assalamualaikum semua.
Assalamualaikum. Bye.